Hello everybody. I have already presented two videos earlier on the PYQs of Comparative Politics of PSIR optional in the recent past. These PYQ questions covered last around 5, 6, 7 years. Today I am taking another question, and that is also very interesting, and this will be the third video. I believe that you have already watched those earlier two videos. If you have not, please do it so that you can get a link of the third video from there. Today I am taking a question from 2021, very interesting question. It goes like this: the post-colonial state was thought of an entity that stood outside and above the society as an autonomous agency. Explain. Now here, please notice carefully, it talks about post-colonial state of an entity that stood outside and above society. Basically, Hamza Alavi's argument of overdevelopment state will work very well here. What happened in colonial period was that the colonial ruler imposed a political system on the colonized society. In Europe, nation state emerged in a different way, where the society, they came together through a process of 100 years, and then a nation state came up. Out of that process, there may be various historical process, industrialization, their colonial aspirations, all have worked in this, but this has gone through a slow process, as we have seen in Locke and Hobbes, that through society finally state emerges. In the colonized society, this colonial power did it in opposite way. They did not allow to society to emerge to be a nation. Rather, they imposed a national government, a political system, following that European model on these societies. Therefore, what happened that when these societies finally achieved independence after long anti-colonial struggle, their political system was already ready. And that political system was alien in nature. And the societies, they remained fragmented in the line of caste, race, ethnicity, regionalism, and many other factors. Now, when these societies got independence, then they faced an impending task of nation building. So therefore, in European society, nation building was a continuation of nation formation. Here, the nation building came as an urgent need when nation did not form properly. Therefore, a gap remained between the political system or state and society. Now, the political system, being a member of international society, it has certain obligations, it has certain responsibilities, accountability to make its sovereign system to function, its institutional arrangement to deliver, and there a contradiction remains. Therefore, the state is unable to satisfy its society, and in society various kind of grievances, they crop up. there are regionalism, there are ethnicity, there are religion-based tensions, there are caste-based tensions, various kind of grievances, various kind of dissatisfactions, they started emerging from society, and the state, its political system, its institutional arrangement was not prepared enough to accommodate all these grievances, all these demands. They are genuine, they understand it, but their capacity did not permit it to fulfill those aspirations. Therefore, state versus citizen, that contradiction becomes a permanent feature here. That way, the political system in these post-colonial societies, they exist above and away from its very society. In this fragmented society, economic problems remain, social complexities function, political uncertainties exist. Because they were earlier under colonialism, therefore their economic functioning, their political stability, all were in a very nascent stage. And with this limited capacity of the state, social and economic well-being of the people, that remain a distant dream. But people cannot accept this position for a longer time. Therefore, society does not feel that their very state to which they are citizens is their own. In this society is therefore the possibility of secessionist movement, separatist movement, then regionalism, then sub-regionalism, that gets intensified. This way, these societies, as Hamza Alavi has said, that they look like overdeveloped state. That means their development is not proportional, is not balanced to the development of society in which actually people live, in which actually problems exist, in which actually all these services have to be delivered. Your answering framework will have to follow this pattern. Now, just let us twist the question slightly. And you see that your framework also requires to be changed accordingly. Not only accordingly, there will be substantial change in the framework of the answer, though it looks like almost similar to the question of 2021. This is not a PYQ question, but let me put it for your understanding. Take the question as if challenges of the post-colonial states to participate in international relations based on principle of equality. Explain. Here also we find the word post-colonial state, but it says that how can they participate in international relations on equal terms? In this question, you won't go to this Hamza Alavi's framework of overdeveloped state. Here you have to go with Edward Said Orientalism, Samuel Huntington's Clash of Civilization, or Frank Fanon's Othering. Those kind of analysis you'll have to develop, where you'll have to show that even they have got political independence and came out politically out of colonialism, but actually that colonial domination, colonial hegemony still haunting them, in indirectly or directly. So this will be the framework here. On this, in 1960s, Samir Amin, A.G. Frank, they have worked extensively on dependency theory, where they have apprehended about new colonialism, or they have cautioned the third world countries of that time about possible neo-colonial design of the earlier or former colonial power. Later on, when NAM countries came together, they talked about new international economic order. That framework will be working very well here. What happens that when this post-colonial state, that's an historical phenomenon, that they have came out of colonial period and now they are sovereign states officially, formally, but when they actually go to function in international context, then they find that space is not available to them to negotiate that platform freely. They impose tariff and non-tariff barriers in different ways so that these countries cannot go out of the dependency that they have on these countries. These countries want to develop faster, but the earlier colonial countries, they want to still put them under debt. So therefore, they may give a lot of financial aids to meet their poverty issues, illiteracy issues, malnutrition issues, basic infrastructure development issues. These countries, they constantly take aids, grants from different international institutions or through bilateral negotiations from different countries, and then they put them in a trap of debt which they cannot pay back. That way, they remain dependent on the dominant or powerful countries in the world. This will be the framework of the second question. Now, since you know about Hamza Alvi's overdeveloped state, and if you bring that concept here and discuss too much, then second answer will not give you number. Similarly, if you follow this second question's framework in the first question, then the answer will not be correct. Therefore, you may find that you have written well, but marks will not really come according to your expectation. Thank you. I hope you have understood it. If you require more help, please contact us. We'll definitely try to help you. Wait for the next video to come. Thank you. All the best.